friends. Thanks for checking in. Going to do an online debate today with Jarhead6 talking about budget guns versus high-end guns. Which one work best for you and who makes the better argument for their choice. So without any further ado, Jarhead, you're up.
Hey guys, Jarhead6, and I appreciate you guys watching. So today we're going to have a quick debate here between high-value guns and budget guns. And I got to tell you guys, this is a topic that typically upset me because a lot of people are so stuck in this high-value guns. You know, you got some Kimbers out there on over $1,000. You know, I know the firearm guy has some beautiful guns like the P220 that he has. It's probably about $8,000 to $1,000. But I got to tell you guys, I get upset because a lot of times we criticize guys that are trying to arm themselves in order to protect their families because they don't have the budget. Now instead of buying a Ruger SP101 like the firearm guy has, they have a basic EAA Windicator. And I gotta tell you guys, I carry this revolver for a long time as an EDC, and I still carry it, and it works pretty good. Now guys, it definitely doesn't look like a Ruger SP101. It's ugly and heavy, but it works. If you don't have money, for $269 you could buy a very good firearm that would allow you to protect yourself. Now guys, going into shotguns and rifles, I'm sure Dan is going to show his pretty shotguns that he has, but I got to tell you, I got a Rock Island M5 tactical, and it works pretty well. Again guys, it's not as pretty as some of the shotguns out there, but for $179 to $200, again, another good quality weapon that would allow you to protect yourself and protect your family. So with that being said, the biggest thing is, like, if you don't have money, don't think that budget guns are not good. There is plenty of good budget guns in the markets that you could utilize to defend yourself and defend your family, guys. So with that being said, let's see what Dan has to say about this.
You know, I think this is where some age and experience comes in. We're not little kids anymore trying to save up enough money to buy our ice cream. And I understand that budgets get tight, there's no doubt about it. But when we talk about protecting our greatest and most precious asset, our family, and we talk about how we're going to do that, we're going to talk about budget guns? Are you kidding me? You know, we want to use the absolute best for that. Because then where do we draw the line? Are we going to talk about, you know, get a budget holster, a little $7 holster compared to something that's really good? You know, you have to look at the best. Are we going to get cheap door locks for our house, or are we going to get the best? See, we have to prioritize things. In my opinion, the best is some of the best quality handguns. You know why they're the best? Because it's made by the best machining. It's made by the best materials. It's proven time and time again to work for years. These have been proven to go on and on. It talks about the SIG P220 being a beautiful handgun, and it is a beautiful handgun. I didn't buy this because it's beautiful. Oh sure, I like to show it off sometimes, but I bought it because it works, guaranteed. Same with the SP101. Okay, good looking handgun, sure, but I didn't spend the money so that I could have a good looking handgun. I spent it so in the case I need to use it to protect my family, I have the best. We're talking about budget. You know, there's a saying I live my life by. It says, good things are seldom cheap and cheap things are seldom good. And that's saying every gun you have to have in your collection, it has to be a high-end gun. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is you cannot underestimate the importance of having a good quality firearm when it goes to protecting your family, because if the case were to arise and you had to use that, you'd pay any amount of money to make sure that thing worked exactly as it's intended.
Hey Dan, you know what? You're right. But I gotta tell you one thing, because you spend a lot of time in your lake house and probably don't know this. The American people are broke. We have no money. The country owes so much money that an economic collapse could happen at any time. There's active shooter situations going on at the mall, at the schools, at the supermarkets, everywhere. Iraq is going crazy. We have a terrorist group that is taking over a country and have the capabilities to pay people to commit terrorist attack in this nation. So that time where you could prep 7, 8, 9 months to save money to buy that perfect gun is gone. We don't have that privilege. We need to buy firearms right now. The American people need to protect themselves. So yes, if you're looking for a gun and you cannot afford to spend $700, pay $300, get yourself a good budget gun, and then save some money to buy that perfect gun.
Hey Jarhead, I want to thank you for reminding me why we need a gun to begin with. All those shootings you talked about in schools, shopping malls, military bases, and even in the Middle East. You know, you are making my point. You are saying that, hey, because the world's a dangerous place, let's all go buy a cheap gun. Are you serious? You know, there's a sacrifice that needs to be taking place if you want anything that's decent. And if you're going to protect your family, you have to not go cheap. You know, there are some things that you can go cheap on. You can go cheap on the food you eat, on the place you live, the clothes you wear. But when you're talking about protecting your family, you're suggesting that people buy a $150, $250 gun? Give me a break. Put forth a little sacrifice. Prioritize what you want and what you need, and get what you need because of the exact argument that you said. The world is a dangerous place. And the last thing you want to hear in a time of need is click and thinking, man, I bought a cheap gun.